This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2023 Forest River Salem Platinum Edition, model 27RK. Okay, I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. This is the fiberglass version. So we have these quick drop jacks for the stabilizers. They're you crank them, but they can drop very quickly, so it just makes it a lot easier. Okay, you got one in each corner. Your water heater is right here. Now, right now it's empty and bypassed because it's winterized. This is where you're going to drain it when you are draining it, or this is how you remove the drain plug anyway. It takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket. Okay, there's an electric heating element that is behind this cover here. That heating element is controlled by this switch right here, this rocker switch, if you can see it. Always leave it off and never turn the water heater on when it doesn't have water in it. Right now it's empty because it's winterized. It's empty and bypassed. So remember, when you're getting ready to camp in the springtime or early summer, always fill the water heater tank. This is directly on the back of this. It's attached right to it. Before you turn on the gas or the electric. There are switches inside also, but I just want you to know that for that heating element, there's a rocker switch right here for this electric heating element. Okay? You have a power awning with LED strip. This right here is the vent for your range hood fan. So if you're going to vent to the outside, I don't know if you can see them because it's dark, but there's some thumb holes there. You can just pop the baffle loose with your finger or thumb, and it'll flap freely. You always want it flapping freely when you're venting to the outside. Okay? This is a sprayer port here. It comes with a sprayer. Excuse me. This is a small outside kitchen here. You have a refrigerator here, obviously. This is your sprayer. There's the hose, and there's the nozzle. Okay. You also have a griddle. This griddle has to be plugged in. This is a quick connect. Let me get it around here. Quick connect hose. You can see it there on the back of the grill, and then right here there's a male side. That will plug in. See if I can see it without the. Oh, right here. So hopefully you can see that. That's where it plugs in right there. So that's a quick connect for the LP system. Okay. Close this up because it's raining. Okay. Outside speakers. This is power, AC power, and then this is TV signal out here. So you could put a TV out here if you wanted to. You have outside speakers. This is the fresh water tank fill. Now, normally the most common way to get water to the tank is using the fresh water hookup, but if you're camping someplace, boondocking, whatever, where you don't have any city water, you can pre-fill this fresh water tank and take the water with you and then pump it using the onboard water pump. So everything will work as though you had city water, even though you'd be pumping from the tank. Also, there's a fresh water drain under here. You can see part of it there. It's a white gate valve there. Okay. Your steps fold in and out. This comes with a hitch, so we'll show you how that hitch operates when you pick up. It's an 8 to 1200 Husky centerline weight distribution switch with built-in sway control. So we'll show you how that operates when you pick up. You also get some cranks. This long one that's horizontal is your 3/4 inch crank. Then you have the smaller one here. The smaller one is used for the power tongue jack in case it fails. You have a power tongue jack, but if it was to fail, you could pull this plug out, put the crank on there, and you could actually crank it manually if you had to. You have 2 LP tanks that are full. You have a deep cycle marine battery. This is the kill switch for the battery in case you want to shut it off. Okay. We'll come out here. This is just the other side of the pass-through storage. This is your 30 amp, 30-foot shore cord right here. This is a reducer to reduce it down to 20 if you need to. That's your dump hose. Okay. I'm running out of battery right now because we're away from the building, so all we have is 12 volt DC right now. So this is your city water hookup right here. Right, most common way to get water to the trailer. Now these are cable and satellite through to the entertainment area of the trailer. This one is your black tank flush. So after your dump bells are here, you got your gray tank, which is 2 gray tanks, sink and shower water, and 1 black tank, toilet water and waste. And so after you dump your black tank, you can leave the valve open. It's important to leave the valve open. Then you hook the hose of the dump station onto here, turn it on, and it'll flush out your black tank, it'll spray off the sensors, that sort of thing. So it's a really good thing to use if you have a working hose at the dump station. Okay, slide out is in right now. This is where your 30 amp shore cord plugs in. Okay, now this tells us that this housing tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can always get a Furrion backup camera to add to it if you choose. And this tells us it's set up for a Lippert removable ladder. So that's where that would hook up right there. While we're looking up, always remember to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states, I think, every 60 days on this one. You want to go up there, look around, look at cracking and separation at the sealant. Make sure the water can get in. You look at the roofing attachments and roofing material. Make sure it wasn't damaged by any low branches or road debris. Just periodically inspect it so you keep ahead of any problems. Okay. Alrighty. So see if we got enough power here. To your slide room. So right now we're running off battery. We're running off of 12 volt DC. As soon as you hear it start to ratchet, you take your finger off the button. That does that so you can't overextend it or over retract it. So we're coming up to that point. Right there. Okay. So you also have your power awning switch right here. Never leave the awning out unattended, of course. There's your awning light there. Okay. That's a dimmer there. You just rub your thumb over it to turn on the lights. This is your thermostat. It's very simple. You hit the mode bar to light it up, and then you just keep poking it to cycle or to scroll through the options. It'll go to fan. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. And then you hit it again, it'll go to cooling, which is air conditioning. Hit it again, it goes to heating, which is the propane furnace. Okay. Try to, if they give you an option for fan speed, try to always pick automatic. Okay, so you have a remote for your fireplace right here. A remote for your radio right here, your sound bar. Now I can't show you the fireplace lit up because of we're not plugged into 110 right now, but I'll tell you that you can adjust the look of the flame and crystals. It's got a timer, so you can set it to turn on and off when you want it to. It has 3 fan speeds off, low and high, so it works as a really good space heater. It's good for those days where it's not really cold enough to run the furnace. You can just run this, and then you don't have to use up your limited supply of LP gas. You'd be using campground power. So okay. When it comes to the sound bar, this has FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream from your phone or your tablet. It has a USB port, so you could put all your albums onto a USB stick and take them with you, for example. This HDMI is an in case you want to go into the system with a portable Blu-ray player or something. Once you have a TV hooked up. It has 2 zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it does a lot. Keep in mind that this is where you would attach your TV to. The coax goes onto here, and you always want to turn that on. That's the digital signal booster for the signal booster for the digital antenna right there. So you won't get a good picture unless you got it turned on like that. Okay. This is just telling us it's pre-wired for a Wi-Fi booster. You know, it will the kit would consist of a antenna for the roof, and there'll be a port on the roof to hook an antenna up, and then this is where the router would sit. So it's just something to boost your campground Wi-Fi and add a router to your trailer. So if you're interested, you can go to kingconnect.com and look at their different products. Either way, I don't know if they still offer one without the antenna, but you want to stay away from that. If you get one, you want one with an antenna on the roof and the router, okay? So that's another pre-wired option. Excuse me, having a cold here. There's a backer plate here for your TV bracket, so you can put a nice swing out bracket on there. The best kind to get are the scissor type, and spend a little extra money if you can and get the one that locks into place so you don't have to use straps on it to keep it in place. So scissor type, you can go either way with, you can swing it either way. Plus, if you get the one that locks in place, it'll stay put where it's supposed to be, okay? You got theater seating with a footrest and all of that. Down here is where you take these 4 screws out of this panel, and that's where your water pump is. That's where you draw the antifreeze into the system, just so you know, okay? These jackknife flat, so you can jackknife this couch flat and turn it into a bed if you need to. You can also drop the poles on this one and set the tabletop onto these cleats here and turn this into a bed area. So you got a lot of sleeping area there. Okay. This is a pantry here. Small pantry. Let's look in here to see if that's where I want to make sure that. I think the water heater was on this side. Gosh, I wish I could remember. I think the water heater is behind these panels right here. This panel right here. So that's where you get to the bypass valves. I'm not 100% because I can't seem to remember, but by looks of it, I'm sure that's what it is. Just so you can access the back of the water heater and the bypass valves. Okay. Or is it? Gosh, I'm going to walk outside and tell you for sure in a minute. This is your power converter. This converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged in, you have regular 110 AC circuit breakers here, and they're all labeled, right? So that's kind of like your distribution center. And if on this side you got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. So the power is converted from 110 AC to 12 volt DC over here, and that's where a lot of your 12 volt comes from. This is also a battery tender, a battery charger. So when you're plugged in, it's going to send so much energy your battery up front needs, and it'll always keep it charged also. So it does that. Plus, if any of these fuses were to blow, you can actually see them glowing through this tinted plastic here. So keep in mind that that's there. But like I said, it is a battery tender too. So it'll keep your battery charged when you're plugged in. When you're pulling down the road, of course, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the battery, and then when you're plugged in, this does. So, okay. Alrighty. Let's see if I can get on my feet here. Okay. So your refrigerator is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. Okay. These are just door reversing parts here. You don't even need those, but we left them in here for you. And then you have a freezer here, runs on 12 volt DC. You're going to have lights under here too. I can turn one on for you. This is the range hood fan that I told you about. Remember I told you about the baffle on the outside, you had to open it. That's when you're running the fan. And of course it has a light on it. This is your microwave, works like any other microwave. Your range, and first of all, it has a bifold cover on it. Always keep it closed when you're traveling. But I don't know if he's got the gas on. He probably doesn't, but we'll see. This is the sparker. You turn this clockwise to spark. Okay. 3 knobs, 3 burners, and then this one's for the oven. Let me see if he's got it. Yeah. So you can see it's that simple. Now the oven's a little different. It at the very back on the bottom is a pilot light. Sometimes you can see it spark back there to see it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the bottom line is you're going to take the oven knob and you go to the picture of the flame, then you depress it, keep it depressed. You light the pilot light. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10-15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, you have to relight the pilot light each time you turn it on, so keep that in mind. You always have to relight the pilot light. Alrighty. Keys are right here. We're still cleaning this one, I can see, so it needs a little cleaning still. Let me shut this off so I don't have to come back to it. Let's see what else we have here. First we have shades here. Large shades on all the windows, it looks like. Okay. The bathroom. The shower works like any other shower. Sink works like any other sink. This is a GFCI plug here. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, so keep that in mind. If you use a coffee pot or something outside and it pops, you're going to reset it here. You have a fan, of course. The toilet is an RV toilet. You can see there's a flush pedal right there. Okay. So the thing is, you can't use it dry. The black tank is directly below. So what you do, you step on the pedal, and that's antifreeze there. But if you're hooked up to water, it would be water. That goes directly into the black tank. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you come in here, you put a dose of chemical right in the bowl, then you stand on the pedal long enough to put at least a gallon of water in the tank also, along with the chemical. You can use more water if you want, but don't use less. And once you've done that, you're all set, you're ready to use it. If you didn't do that and you used it dry, it can get clogged up, and the smell also is terrible. So you always want to have water and chemical in there when you're using it. Never use it with a dry black tank. Okay, so you have your bedroom here. The bed does pull up in their storage underneath. Plus you have a closet here. Okay. You have TV hookups here and a backing plate here for a bracket. All right. This is your escape window for emergencies. You just push it through like that, all the way through. Then you're going to grab a hold of this tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape the trailer in an emergency. Okay. Alrighty. So I think that covers that. There's also a something I've missed here. Let me find it. I think I missed it. Maybe I didn't. Let me go over it. I can't remember if I showed you or not. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector here. So it should always be green like it is. If it's not green, get it serviced. If it goes off, it's detected carbon monoxide or LP gas. You can read this to see how to determine which. But if it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on, okay? Obviously, you're not going to ignore it. Never disconnect it. And if it's not green, get it serviced, okay? That's important. Sorry about all the camera work, but this is the camera I have to work with right now, so I'm kind of stuck with it. Alrighty. And there's also straps for these chairs for when you're traveling. It'll bounce around. Now let's solve the water heater mystery real quick. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So, on the inside, let's see how to get to it. Okay. Right over in the corner here. I would think, let me look here. Yeah, you're gonna take this cover off here with the 4 screws, and you'll be able to wrangle back there and reach in and operate the bypass valves from there. So that's how you would access it, okay? Alright, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 60 days. Just inspect it for your own peace of mind to protect your investment. People generally don't look at it enough, so make sure you do that. And right now this is winterized. All the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze. The water heater is bypassed. And it's empty right now. So remember to fill it up, put water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. Okay? Thank you.